we spent all this time talking about Pogačar last episode, to the chagrin, I think, of much of the audience.
Should we discuss that?
Should we discuss that?
Should we get
now?
into it? Kaylee, at which point, because at the start you made a valiant attempt on the Discord to back your corner.
Then I just stopped.
And then eventually the tide was too strong.
Also,
swept over you.
I got on a plane to Australia. That made it more difficult to respond.
Convenient. But no, I think I agreed with many of your points. I maybe didn't voice it as vociferously. But I think
I went a little hard.
Yeah, fine. I think it's good for the show. Probably, maybe not. But I think the point that's being made is that Pogačar is a human, regardless of. Well, exactly, right? If L'Équipe don't say so.
Yeah.
This is the point. But yeah, I don't know. Do you want to address? We don't want to relitigate the whole thing, but are there any final musings? Because you literally get to you had the first word, the middle word, and the last word on this debate. And then
they can't. Yeah. They're not on the podcast. All the people. No, I think I went a bit hard on him. I do have empathy for the poor man who has to sign a million things every time he goes outside and take a bunch of selfies and all the rest. I think fundamentally, I just don't think that's the way to handle it. That was my issue. I don't have any issue with a rider being annoyed by fans, right? We've seen that a million times. We're there at the starts at the Tour de France, and we watch them, maybe go sign a couple things, but then come back to the buses and be like, and kind of grumble about it, right? Fine, you're there to race your bike. You're not necessary. They're not there to be, monkeys in a cage, dance monkey dance, kind of that's the fan interaction thing. But there are classy ways to deal with that, and there are not classy ways to deal with that. And a big jersey that says "Do Not Disturb" and has a bunch of pictures of cameras with an X through them is not the classy way. Even
if you're joking, even if it's some elaborate joke.
That is. I'm not counting that out, because we're talking about a rider who we've previously described as a meme lord. He may be. This may be kind of an elaborate, 4D chess kind of joke here. In which case, I think it's actually slightly better. But we don't know. I don't know. I'm not online enough to actually know whether that's the case. So no, I'm standing by my assertion that this is a bad vibe, but I will back off on on my rampant character assassination of the poor man. I think that was maybe uncalled for.
Well,
was that what happened?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I got a little heated about it. I was like, okay, what's wrong with this guy? Yeah.
I was picking the middle ground, and then Kelly was just turning up more and more. It's like, no, you know what? We're all talking it was good.
I'm glad I wasn't there, because I would have just been like, maybe he is depressed. Leave him alone.
Yeah, Ian's on the side of basically everybody but me, and I just think there's better ways to deal with it.
Well, the good news is that Tadej Pogačar has been back out training in his rainbow jersey. I mean, this is the thing, is that the discourse didn't even go to the whole how disrespectful that he's not wearing the rainbow jersey. We skipped right past that, but anyway.
That's true. Maybe he listens to the pod.
Not anymore.
And he was like, oof. I need Kaylee's approval.
He was back out.
Patently ridiculous thing to say.
He took a selfie of him in the rainbow bands, making a point. With on the Col de Turini, I think, and then had he's like, the Vuelta finished behind me somewhere, which was fun. But Tadej Pogačar has still been sort of not stoking controversy, speaking his mind, I think, is the way to frame it, where he weighed in on Danny Van Poppel's sprint relegation at the Deutschland Tour.
Yeah, why?
Well, really good question. I assume because they are friends.
Yeah, probably.
That's my only. Didn't know they were such firm buds. Didn't know they were in that many races together. Maybe Danny Van Poppel lives in the same Monaco apartment block that seemingly all of the pros all live in, and don't know. Danny Van Poppel was relegated from the win of a Deutschland Tour stage for a textbook egregious sprint deviation, like all over the road. Just absolutely ridiculous. Tadej Pogačar had a screenshot and typed on it, "The clear winner of today's stage. These relegations are absolute jokes and not correct. Job done poorly like so many times this year. Congrats, Danny Van Poppel, you won."
He's not the judge. He's not the judge.
He is not. Also, it seemed like he really blocked off Matthew Brennan of Visma Lease Bike, Tadej Pogačar's sworn enemies. So maybe that had something to do with it as well, if I was going to put my tinfoil hat on. But one thing is that Tadej Pogačar said his piece, dipped out by then following up with another Instagram story 15 minutes later saying, "Don't get me wrong, if they are relegating riders here, they can relegate 4 to 5 riders. Look at the picture. Peace out. P.S. Here's my latte art progress." And then he posted a picture of the coffee that he'd made with the nice, like, sort of flower plant classic latte art thing.
Like weirdly penile.
Well, so the 15 minutes later
maybe.
thing, the 15 minutes later thing means that he was getting a whole bunch of, like hate on this, right? And then kind of either defending it, I guess.
Well, for someone
make
who
a coffee to clear his head.
Yeah, for someone who was waxing lyrical in the Tour de France Unchained about how he doesn't look at social media anymore and he's all above that and la da 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 da, on social media a lot seemingly. These things are hard to quit. But yeah, a weird August for Tadej Pogačar. I hope September brings him peace and tranquility. And yeah, maybe just need to log off, go to the middle of a forest somewhere. I don't know.
I have a question.
Okay.
Kind of related to this, which is, I think it popped up on Discord. I can't remember. Is Tadej Pogačar now bigger than cycling? And this is kind of related to both, my opinion of his no photo jersey, and just the sort of general fan reaction to a lot of this stuff. And I think that the only rider that I can think of in literally the entire time I've been covering the sport who was bigger than the sport at one point was Peter Sagan, who like kind of cut through in a way that I mean, previously you'd have to probably go back to like Lance Armstrong, I think, who cut through, particularly in, definitely in his home country, but I would say most of Europe, and even sort of beyond that, like cut through in a way that was, he became like this character and entity that was way more than just his winning bike races, right? Whereas if you look at all most of the other quote unquote champions, they're not. Like they are the bike racing is remained at the core of why people care. Is Pogačar now trending into that space where he starts to, like, the things that he does off of a bike become as much a story as anything that he does on a bike? I don't know the answer to this question. I'm just sort of putting it out there because I think it's an interesting. I think if not now, then soon for him, we're going to reach this sort of inflection point.
I think for Pogačar, there's probably a little bit of he is from a country where it's a small country, well, probably Slovakia as well, but he's got a difficult name to pronounce. He's probably not that well known outside of the cycling sphere. If I think back to conversations I've had with distant family members, Peter Sagan is somebody that was in that conversation in a way that Tadej Pogačar probably isn't yet.
Yep. He needs to grow his hair out and do a Grease video.
Well, I think also that Peter Sagan also had Specialized behind him, who are very effective at marketing and probably do things that cross over into like they might pop up on your Instagram reels or something. And I don't think Colnago is doing that kind of thing or
pissy.
Any of the pissy.
Peter Sagan also had his partner, wife at the time, they've split since, was largely behind a lot of that kind of image making. So she was behind the Grease video. She was behind a lot of that stuff, and I don't believe that there's any sort of equivalent in Pogačar's corner.
Well,
so to speak. Certainly not. Like, I mean, Urska's racing her bike. She's not going to be doing that. So like no direct analogy there. But like, he doesn't have somebody who is professionally handling his image, right? Which I think would be the thing that would kind of potentially take him up a level, like, for lack of a better term.
Sagan's wife, Marketa, I think that's her name, also worked for the Jerusalem Artichoke Extract Company that produced the Grease video.
Yes.
A
synergy of...
so many synergies.
So many synergies.
What do you mean artichoke extract? What's that?
That is what... Sun Rouge. That was the brand...
Right.
That was behind.
Do you think there's a chance that people are listening to this podcast right now and don't know what we're talking about?
I think there's a chance that people are listening to this podcast and don't know who Peter Sagan is.
If you have come to the sport in recent years, kind of post like 2017-18, which is really when Sagan started to kind of like fall off in both his cycling and just sort of general popularity. Just Google it. Google Peter Sagan Grease.
Yeah,
and you will see what we're talking about.
Actually, one of the defining demonstrations of love for me, like just watching them dancing to a Grease song.
Would it not be very fun for Tadej Pogačar to grow his hair out and like do Grease again?
Extremely fun.
It'd be so much fun. He should do that.
Yeah. Don't Google Peter Sagan DUI or Peter Sagan COVID vaccine. Keep it light and whimsical. Tadej Pogačar grows hair out. Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
He should.
I mean, when was the last time you had a Tour de France winner, like, actually while winning the Tour de France with long hair? I feel like that doesn't happen really, does it?
Well, Laurent Fignon lost the Tour with long hair. Famously due to his ponytail.
Famously,
right?
So yeah, I mean, he's got to start coming up with these sorts of weird little games to keep him entertained. He would either look great with long hair or terrible, and I can't decide which one.
Terrible.
Can someone Photoshop this for us, please?
If it looked like a David Gaudu, if it was that sort of bun, it would look ridiculous.
Yeah,
David Gaudu.
Well, so it's sort of like his hair is sort of like thick enough, spiky enough to pop out of his helmet, right? So it would sort of
true.
It wouldn't fall in the same way as a David Gaudu, flowing locks kind of situation. It might sort of like go up a fair ways before going out and down, right?
More of a Aslan Narnia situation.
Or like the world's maddest mohawk.
That'd also be good. He needs to
he needs something to pull out of this villain arc that he is headed toward, right?
Yeah, he's crashing out big time in public.
Yeah. He's like super grumpy at the Tour de France. He's super grumpy post Tour de France. He is wearing this kit that I still think is just a terrible, terrible vibe. He is like clearly not in a good headspace.
Yeah. He needs a tattoo.
I think that's obvious.
He needs like a big gopping tattoo on his leg or something.
He needs something. He needs something to pull himself out of this spiral right now. Like in terms of public perception, as much as anything. Or maybe he doesn't. Maybe he just needs to go like live in the woods in a cabin. I don't know.
Yeah, one of the two. We've been accused of being the Pogačar collective recently, but I think it's an interesting topic that keeps on growing legs. So
he's far and away the most interesting bicycle rider on the planet. So I think we're going to talk about him. Yeah.
Can we talk about Danny Van Poppel, another interesting bicycle rider who I have learned is Boy Van Poppel's brother?
Yeah. What, you only just learned that?
Just learned it. And Jean-Claude Van Poppel's son.
Jean-Claude Van Poppel's a great name.
And Jean-Claude Van Damme's nephew.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure that out in my head.
No, I made that one up.
But imagine being a Dutch parent in the later years of the 80s and early years of the 90s that are just going to decide that you're going to call your firstborn son Boy and your second-born son Danny. Not Daniel.
after Boy, you're like,
just
God,
Boy
damn,
and Danny.
Damn, I actually have to put some energy into it next time.
And then just stopping there.
So yes, Danny Van Poppel got his 4th yellow card of the season for an irregular sprint, and our colleague Kit Nicholson found basically a loophole where after you get suspended, like any cards that count towards a suspension, then can no longer be included in the future. So you know,
like they wipe.
They wipe. So as you get, so like if you get 2 yellow cards within like the 7-day period or whatever, then you have like the 7-day suspension. Then it means that those can't tot up to then being counted for like the 5 yellow cards and like the 30-day suspension or whatever it is. So it kind of makes arguably.
How do you ever get to
mockery.
5 then?
So you
if every
Like
2
5 consecutive days.
like if every 2 gives you if 7 days off, how do you ever get to 5?
No, because you would like every first day of every month, your alarm goes off and you watch it. Oh, time to get a yellow card in a UCI race today. Doesn't accrue in a short enough time to count for a smaller suspension, but then you get punished big time for arguably, fewer I don't know, weird. So you could effectively get like 10 yellow cards and serve a much less time than you should.
This seems dumb.
It's just dumb.
This
It's so
seems
dumb.
like a really poorly written.
I don't know why they put all these caveats in. It's so stupid. But
yeah. If you get a pile of yellow cards, you should just not be allowed to race for a while. It seems like a very simple.
Yeah.
And every additional one you get, it should get worse for you.
I think they should just put it should be weights. Like you have to add like a kilogram weight for every infraction, and then it wipes at the end of the season.
But it's all sprinters though. You need like an aerodynamic penalty.
Oh, okay.
Just put their handlebars like
so
3
for
centimeters
for
higher.
every yellow card, for every yellow card you get, that's actually like for every yellow card you get, 2 centimeters wider handlebar, or 1 size larger jersey.
Yeah, and then
Yes,
Danny Van
that's a
Poppel's
good
just
one.
riding along looking like an absolute clown and
Yeah.
still chopping people.
But then you like by the end of the Vuelta, Danny Van Poppel is riding in
A fat bike.
like an XXL
Yeah.
jersey, just flapping all over.
It's
the
like a
place.
wind
I think that'd
sock.
be fantastic.
Yeah, that would be good.
Exactly.
So
And
we
you
should
would
be in
never win a
charge.
sprint. You would never win a sprint like that.
Yeah, unless
Not
you
in
crash
today's-
everyone out. Yeah.
Not in today's cycling.
You block the road. So that's fun.